Medieval is this the world.
All right, so welcome to Talking Orangutans. This is, I think, number 32, if my memory serves me right. I'm going to be slightly distracted by my cats because there's 3 squirrels outside and they're really keen on grabbing them. I'm here with Mick today, who is from Sunsurf in Strand. It's a surf school. And Mick's the owner, and he runs it alone or with his wife?
Yeah, my wife helps me.
All right, cool.
So we're partners in the business.
So I'm going to have a chat to Mick about surfing, how he started the business, and just basically his approach, pick his mind on what's good surfers, how do you get into good, how do you become a good surfer, or how do you just become an average surfer, because there is that little, like what do you need to go from, I think I want to catch a wave, to actually being able to stand on the board. And I think there's a few mental things that people need. And I don't know, I just find it fascinating the way that he started the business. It's like you would think that there's been a surf school forever, and there hasn't really been in this area. Like, so, and I find it awesome, and if it wasn't for him, my wife wouldn't be a surfer. So I'm super grateful for what he's done for my wife. And so yeah, guys, just a quick second. I don't do this for money. It's a hobby. So if you're watching this on YouTube or anywhere, please press like or press share or subscribe. It just makes me feel like someone's listening, and hopefully you get something out of it. So if you like it, just give me a shout out. Anyway, Mick,
awesome
dude, we were talking about Kelly Slater now.
Yeah. So
let's just jump into that. Easy. I was saying to someone one day, like, he wants his kids to be professional athletes, and I'm like, I think you got to be a bit of a my vocabulary is got to be a bit of a fucked up dad if you want your kids to be professional, because you need them to be almost like sociopathically obsessed with the sport. And I wonder, where do you draw the line? Like, if a healthy person doesn't become 100% obsessed with something.
Yeah, totally.
So I wonder, like, do you need to be a slightly bad parent to get your kid 100% successful in sport?
Look, there's parents and there's parents, eh? So I've been running the surf school since 2003, so that's 17 years this year, and I've seen a little bit of everyone.
Okay.
And you don't want to be that parent, man. The parents that live through their kids. So I understand it, because sometimes parents maybe didn't have opportunities or whatever, and they have this image of what they could have been, and then we've seen it. The parents start living through their kids' lives, but that kid doesn't want to do that sport, man. Or they're not wired that way, or they want to do, they want to flip and be a scientist, or they want to just play in the park or whatever.
Yeah.
And you get parents that force their kids to be. I've seen it in surfing. I've seen it in all other sports, but eventually it pushes them away.
Yeah.
And then they might find surfing later on, but it's hectic, man.
Yeah.
But in terms of being, Kelly Slater, we're talking about him. He said his first 6 world titles, he after that he took a break, because he was zonked, man.
Yeah.
His relationships were stuffed up, his friends, his sole focus was on winning. And anything that got in the way was disregarded. So he had to take some time off. But it stuffs your life up, having that one purpose of winning. I would say winning's not everything, man. It's a cliche, but man, you want a well-rounded life more than I won 11 world titles. Actually, interview I listened with Kelly, I think it was this year or last year, 2019. He said, a guy said, would you trade a happy life for your 11 world titles? Or he just said, or 1 or 2 of them. And he didn't answer. He couldn't answer. He was like, no, he couldn't. So you would rather be unhappy and have the world titles than be happy. It's stuffed up, man.
You've got to be a little bit messed up.
Yeah, I suppose it depends what messed up is, but
yeah, but it's just like if you look at the pattern of, let's say, for example, Tiger Woods, Oscar Pistorius is a famous one, Lance Armstrong. Yeah. Like these people that are exceptionally good. Even if you look at the baseball, if you look at Barry Bonds and A-Rod and all of these people that were super amazing, there was something a little bit, the wiring is a little bit different. And the pursuit of, at all costs. Like, are we talking about sport? But then you have people that pursue women, they pursue money, they pursue power.
There was an interesting article with regards to surfing. A lot of the world champions, so this is an interesting topic, had bad father relationships, or their family home was stuffed up. So the question is, why are they pursuing all these world titles? Why isn't one enough? Why? And so there's something, it's a theory, but we can relate it to a lot of things. So there's something broken inside that wasn't correct from the beginning, and they're trying to fill that void or that hole with something.
Yeah.
It might be interesting to look across all sports, but in surfing, so Kelly didn't have a good father relationship. A couple of other world champions didn't, and they were just ridiculously good. Their pursuit was like, okay, that's stuffed up. I'm not going to let that. I'm going to fill it up with something else. So that's a whole nother topic, but it's interesting.
And obviously, if I had to choose something, maybe not world championships, because to become a world champion, you really got to go all out. But if surfing was your release from all your stresses and problems and troubles, from all the vices out there, I think surfing is one of the most beautiful vices. You know what I mean? Like
a good addiction.
Why not?
We're talking about addictions,
but then I have a couple of friends that I'm like, dude, like how many concussions can you have from dropping into big waves?
Yeah.
And at what point, like that, I was big into downhill mountain biking a couple of years ago. So, and it's an awesome sport. What I liked about it is it gets you in touch with nature.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about this a little bit later, maybe not in the beginning, but, if you want to talk about the concept of a God or a higher power, I think, if you believe in a specific God or if you just believe in a greater entity, like nature is one of the easiest places to feel the presence of very insignificant.
Totally.
And and the ocean's one of them, because it's very easy to admit that this is more powerful than me. And then also, if you're in the forest doing downhill mountain biking, there's a beautiful energy there where you're removed from society and you just 100% focus on what you do. But then I did it in a very unhealthy way, where I started having accidents and I started having too many concussions, and this 1 year and a couple of other things. So I had to leave it. So I don't do it anymore, because I'm one of those slightly messed up people.
Yeah, we all are a little bit.
That take stuff to the extreme. But I think surfing is a beautiful one, man. Like I think just the vibe that you get. Like, what got you into surfing?
Yeah, so for me it was just like part of the family. So my dad surfed, uncle surfed, my brother is 6 years older than me, so he was doing it. So younger brother, you just fall into the footsteps of whatever's happening.
Yeah.
It's not a choice, it just happens,
Yeah.
So a very sporty family, sailing, life saving, swimming, and surfing just was one of those things we did. So that's but I did all sports. So in school,
But did you guys, were you born and raised in Strand?
Yeah, so I lived in Strand my whole life.
Okay.
Part of the beach. You just grew up there, man. So born on the beach and on the sports field. So part of Strand community, and I still live there. And but eventually, if you're talking about surfing eventually took over in high school. Played all the sports.
Rugby, cricket, athletics,
alles, man. Alles. So
hockey.
I had a bursary for sport at school, so I had to play everything. And then eventually it was like, hey, man, cricket's taking my whole Saturday. It's like 9 till 5. when am I going to surf? So, you know,
when am I going to bat? These opening batsmen are doing too well.
Yes, exactly. And you're like, so I started bowling. I was opening bowler, so started bowling a bit like slower, you know. Like, damn, didn't get picked for the team, you know. Damn it. Yes, I can go surf.
Sabotage your own career in sport.
Yeah, which isn't, it's not good. But that's what surfing does. It just takes everything over, you know. Takes over everything because it's so lekker, bro.
But what made you drift towards surfing rather than cricket, for example? Well, like, what is it about it?
Yeah.
Could you find words for that?
I don't know. It becomes an addiction because you want to improve the whole time. There's this intrigue, you know. The waves aren't always perfect. When I'm coaching, I always say, ocean's not a tennis court, man. Those lines move, then they disappear, then they're over there.
Yeah.
So there's that intrigue about surfing, and the ocean is amazing. It's good fitness, but when you're a teenager and you addicted on surfing, you just want to improve and improve.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's all you think about. You just watch videos, you look at magazines, flipping. It's just takes over everything.
Yeah, dude. Let's take a 30-second break. These cats are gonna make me crazy. I don't know if they want to go out or if they want to take a shit, but we're gonna let them out. And this beautiful one is gonna join. And there you go. But I wonder if it's the thing with, because I went to the beach with Anya last week and I tried to teach her a little bit on how to body surf, and I'm not very good at it, but I know at least a little bit. But there's this you have to work for it and then there's a reward.
Yeah.
It's not like you say in tennis, someone's going to serve and there's it's not that much work to get into position to hit the ball.
Yeah.
Like with surfing, there's a lot of the sets come through, it's a shitty set.
Yeah.
Or it's that little bit, you got to also take a risk. Am I taking the second wave? Am I taking the fourth? And if I do take the first one and it doesn't work, then there's some weird reward, I think, for the work that you put in to catch a good wave. I don't know if that comes into it.
I try, I'm teaching surfing, so I'm trying to relate it to what people understand, and I always talk the ocean is like a language. So you need to learn how to read the ocean. You need to talk ocean. And yes, man, try to learn a new language, especially when you're older. It's flipping difficult. When you're younger, it's easier. So I say it's like learning flipping Chinese, man. It's difficult. My wife and I tried to start learning German last year, and we're getting a little bit, but it's hard, man. You got to put in the work, and then if you leave it for a month, you're back to square one. So that's the same with surfing. When we were lighties, we were just in the ocean, jumping over waves, reading waves, and then you're processing. Oh, that's what that one does. That's what that one does. So I have students like after 5 years, they're like, I still can't read the flipping waves. I'm like, it's fine. It's normal. You're 5 years old in surfing terms. You're 45 years old in years, but you're only 5 in surfing.
Yeah.
And then that 5-year-old surfer looks at a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old, but they've been surfing for 7 years, and they're like, I want to be that kid. He's so good. Like, but he's older than you in surfing years. So they've been reading the ocean for longer.
Okay.
So I've got friends that were bodyboarders.
Yeah.
Their whole lives, and then they turn into surfers. They flip, but their progression is like so quick, solely because they can read waves.
Yeah.
So their progression will be way faster than someone that starts from scratch. You can read the ocean. Yeah. Because it's always changing, man. Every half an hour it changes.
Yeah, and I think that's a more difficult skill than learning to paddle or standing.
Yeah, totally. That takes way more years than getting fit.
But what's the biggest challenge of not learning? Is it the ego? Is it laziness? What is it that... Because what I hear is you're almost too nice a coach because you push the people into the way. You have I'm sure some of them will listen to this maybe because
hello ladies.
Because I listened to because I took Anya and I actually had to throw her into a wave for the body surf.
To body surf, yeah.
And I had to say to her, well, I want you to take this wave. And I'm like, and I didn't know that in the beginning. I'm like, what the fuck happens when you're surfing with Mick? He's like, no, well, Mick comes over and he's like, okay, you see that one, you must take that one. And then I see there's a line of, they take advantage. You know what I mean? They know.
Me?
I think they take advantage of you. They know that you're going to be telling them, right?
Yeah.
Because I think the problem is they don't want to take the wrong wave, get out of position and paddle back.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You tell me.
Look, when we started surfing, there was no such thing as surf school. It was like your buddy or your brother or your uncle who's like, here's a board, good luck, buddy. I'll check you later.
Yeah.
So you're like, so thrown in the deep end. And that's why so many people don't surf. They start and they're like, stuff this, it's too hard. I'm going to go play golf or something.
Yeah.
Because like the ball doesn't move. You just got to whack it.
Yeah.
But now with surf schools, you know, it's easier. So if there were no surf schools, there would still be less people surfing. So we are a contributor to the crowded lineups.
Yeah.
Because we are helping people that would never have surfed otherwise.
Mm.
So that is my job is to let my students rely on me less. So I need to work myself out of a job. But at the same time, with some people, they wouldn't come if I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I've got to find the balance, you know. But you want people to, I'm there, you there. If I tell you, just wait a little bit or move to the right, you'll get a good wave. I can leave you and you're going to get stuffed up. So now it's my choice. What do I do? If I just leave you the whole time, you're not going to come back for a lesson.
Exactly.
So I'm basically a drug dealer. Getting you addicted to my push this way and that way.
Yeah, just getting addicted to the high of surfing.
But yeah, so everyone's different. Some people they have the ability to get nailed and not run away and say I'm over this. And
yeah.
You know, well, we're talking specifically about the ladies' lesson, which your wife is at.
Yeah.
I'm going to help them way more because I don't want them to get stuffed up, and they also like I don't want to get stuffed up.
Yeah.
So, but the hope is that you tell them, okay, this one is not good. Then they look at that wave and they save it in their minds, and they go, okay, next time it looks like that, don't go. But it's not that easy, man. It takes years. It takes years and years. There's still guys, I pointed out to my students, I'm like, okay, look at this guy. He's going to get nailed. He shouldn't go on that wave. Boom, it happens because I can read it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but that guy's been surfing for 20 years. So why the heck did he go on that wave?
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know. I'm like, I also don't know. Surely after 20 years you should see. But there's so much in your mind, like, oh, you're tired or you misread it, or like you're like, oh, I don't care, I haven't had a wave in 20 minutes, so I'm just going to go on this one. Or the flippin' pizza you ate the night before, whatever. There's so much to surfing and reading waves.
Do you think that guy might be arrogant in the sense of, I'm going to show this wave?
Maybe, or he's just not thinking, man. You see that with men way more than with women.
What?
They just go.
Okay. Not
They're
thinking.
Like, no. And chicks think way more. So even in lessons, like, I'll tell the guy, okay, just stay with me. You've never surfed. Don't go to the back.
Yeah.
2 seconds later, he's gone. He's out there. Like, what are you doing? It's like trying to sprint before you can crawl.
Yeah.
So, but that's in us. That's men, man. We're males. We want to go to the top of the mountain. I don't want to stuff around over here. Let's go up there first.
I climbed Stellenbosch Mountain. I think my second one will be Everest.
Yeah. Of course. Why not?
Yeah. I'm a mountaineer now.
So that's kind of...
And are the men also like impatient with waiting to go onto the smaller boards?
Totally, yeah.
Is it exactly the same?
Yeah.
I want to be on a smaller board,
Yeah.
the faster, the quicker, the better.
Yeah. And I'm not tuning men. I'm a man. I'm the same. You know.
Yeah.
If I try another sport... I mean, I went snowboarding with my brother.
Yeah.
He lived in Spain for a while, so we went snowboarding. First times. And, you start on the baby slope. I don't know if you've snowboarded.
I haven't, but I understand the concept of...
So a small little slope, there's these little kids and they're like, whoa, 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 doing their thing. And we go on this baby slope, which has got not much slope. You're just cruising, and we were just like, doof, doof, falling over. Like, this sucks, man. Like, hurting your bum, hurting your wrist. And we're like, let's go up there. We've been snowboarding for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what we did. And the snowboarding instructors were probably like, yeah, look at these idiots,
Yeah.
And then we went up there. It helped a bit because we got more momentum. But we were falling our asses off, but it was fun because we were doing it together.
And is it transferable skill from surfing to snowboarding?
Sort of. It's different. Snowboarding, you're more using your gravity to take you down, and then surfing's more pushing you. So when you fall, it's way more hectic.
I can only imagine.
So that's the one thing about surfing. It's not concrete, especially with you. Like if you fall on your bike, hey, you're gonna feel it, man. You fall in surfing, 99% of the time, you're not gonna feel it. So you can hit the board, your own board, or you can hit the sand, but it's over quickly. You fall on your bike. I know it's like collarbones and flipping knees and ankles. I mean, you had a big fall, eh?
I had a few. A friend got me, as a present, he got me 3 sessions with a personal trainer now, because I joined the gym for the first time in my life, and I don't know how the machines work, and I'm scared I'm going to hurt myself, which I did actually last week.
Because you'll pick up the biggest flipping weight as well.
Well, not only, actually, I'm pretty good with that, so you had to fill in this indemnity form, and it also asked you about like all your injuries. I was like, dude, do you really want to know them all? And then it's like head injuries, how many concussions
you got another
and
page.
Stuff. I was like plus minus 20 concussions,
that's gnarly, yeah.
You know, and blah 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 blah, and so. But a lot of them were rugby. A couple of them were car stuff where I was on a bicycle and a car hit me, and then a few was with the mountain bike. So, and listen, what triggers you to do something that terrifies you? I think everyone will have something different, you know. And mine was, my brother died of cancer at the age of 31.
Sure.
He was 31 when he died, or 32.
Hectic.
And up until then, I always say there's a way I lived life pre-Duarte's death, and there's a way of life since his death.
Wow.
Like, you know, it is like there's some stuff in your life where you're like, you know, I don't really feel like it. You know, getting out of your comfort zone, or dropping into a wave, or maybe going to that spot, you know, we're going to drive 3 hours, we're going to check the set, and we might not. And I used to be a little bit
cautious,
drawn back, you know, you know, and I didn't do a lot of stuff, and I didn't realize that sometimes just waking up, getting out of bed is a fucking, is a blessing, you know, just literally being able to breathe. So after he died, I used to be into cycling, but I never did the jumps and stuff because it terrified me. And then it was just like, well, my brother just died with so many regrets. Like, if I don't do this now, then I'm going to die with regrets. And I literally saw it happening. So I was like, do it. And someone else will be like, do it. And then it was like, I'm not really good at this. And then you see the people that are good. So I'll be like, sorry, guys, can you maybe just tell me how you did that? Because I really want to do that. So
awesome.
So with all of that, a lot of the ego and the pride and the arrogance and the bullshit fell away, and then that made me progress very quickly.
Nice.
If you can ask questions and you're like, let me learn from these people.
You were humble,
And
sure.
So that's how the podcast started. Like, you know, like I listened to a lot of podcasts. At one point, it's like, should I have my own podcast? And before I would be like, there's a million reasons why not.
Yeah.
But now I have reasons for. Because everyone always says, what's the point to go to Hollywood? They have too many actors. But I'm like, but every year there's a new famous actor coming out. Why can it not be you? There's arguments for both of the sides.
Exactly.
And and that's how but then I went. So what I'm trying to also say is, because he died, I did a few things that I shouldn't have been doing. So there is a line at some point. So I think the first year in cycling, very few of the things that you do can really hurt you, because it's fairly small. It's like being a whitewash warrior.
It jumps,
But at some point you get into positions and into certain trails and certain jumps where some of them you do at 30 to 50 kilometers an hour. Some of the stuff you start, I did this one part where I was racing at like 70 kilometers an hour down a place with like, and then you start doing stuff that if this goes wrong, and you know your luck inevitably runs out.
It's a lot more consequential.
The universe has a way of humbling you when you least expect it, and that's basically what happened to me. Is that my luck started running out. There were some days where I had a bad vibe. I'm like, I'm not really feeling it. I'm like, dude, don't be a pussy, you know. Live life to the fullest, fucking charge. And it's like, no, there's some days where you got to be like...
Just rein it in a bit.
And I'm sure it's the same with surfing.
Yeah, totally, man. I mean, so you surf spots. So looking at my life, I started surfing at Strand. So it doesn't get big. So you're used to, and it's less powerful than other spots, pretty much. So if you're known as a surfer from Strand, it's not like if you go to Durban or whatever, like, okay, whatever. Where's that?
It's not like you grew up with pipe and that's like your local.
Our spot at Strand is called Pipe, but the only thing that pipes there is the name Pipe. It's nothing. So you can get barreled there. I mean, I get barreled every now and again, but with the right winds and stuff. But so you really need to push it to other spots and travel if you want to get used to surfing bigger waves, and more powerful waves. So yeah, definitely more scared. I mean, my brother was 6 years older than me, so he's already out there, and I'm like, scared, and surfing the whitewater for a long time. You want to be at the back, but you're too scared, and so it took me a long time, man. And I was definitely way more scared. I mean, people look at me now, they're like, it looks so easy, and you surf big waves, but it's like, no ways, man. If you compare me to other guys my age, there's no ways. So I got better later on than a lot of other guys, but just because, the influence of other waves came later on. But you got to grow into that stuff. So like going 70 k's down an hour, down the hill, you're not going to do that straight away.
No,
it's crazy. You grow into that, but then you get comfortable there. So it's about putting time in there, and then people will say, "Oh, you're crazy," but you actually feel pretty comfortable in that space.
Yeah.
But falling, even on a big wave, it's very seldom you're going to break something.
Yeah.
But there's other dangers that people would be like, "There's no ways, man. There's sharks. I don't want to be underwater. I can't breathe." There's that energy.
Yeah.
But some guys will flip and climb a mountain, free climbing, but they won't catch a small little wave. But there's no ways I'm going to climb that mountain. So we've all got, I don't know, it's different adrenaline buttons or comfort zones, I suppose.
Yeah, I always say, like, listen, if someone had to attack me, I would be comfortably defending myself.
Okay.
But sitting down talking about my feelings might terrify me.
Yeah.
And it's like, we all have something that terrifies us.
Totally, yeah.
So I don't like snakes. I don't know why.
No ways, me too, right.
And I used to do trail building, and you get a lot of snakes. The other day, I went boxing, and I bought this outdoor kickboxing gym. And I walked towards it, and I stepped, and there's always these little lizards that you hear, like, and I hear one, and I'm like, fuck, this lizard's big, and I look, and there's just, and literally from here to where the camera is, there's this 2 meter cobra.
Oh, my heck, bro.
But they are, anyways. But then the difference between, I think, being scared and not being scared is doing research. Because then you do research, and then you realize, cobras are really scared of you. Yeah. And they're quite skittish. Yeah. It's the puff adder that you should be...
Yeah. Don't step on it.
So I think the difference between being scared and not being scared is research and then exposing yourself to it. But
that's true.
What waves at your level scares you? Is there any spots that scares you in the Western Cape?
Yeah. So Western Cape has got, you obviously know, we've got big storms which make big waves. So there's lots of big wave spots in Cape Town. We've got Dungeons, you got Sunset, you got Crayfish Factory. It's all on the Atlantic side, and it's a real big wave spot. So often people say, "Oh, you do that big wave thing," because they think that's what surfing is.
Yeah.
You're like, no, that's a different sport, man.
Yeah.
You're talking about waves, 4 or 5 stories high, or it's different sport.
And that's definitely not what you do.
Nah. No.
Yeah, no desire.
Not really. I mean, I might wander there one day, but for now, it's not happening. Especially after having kids, it's way more consequential. You need to train for it. But I always say the guys that do that's either got big balls or no brains, bro. It's like, but because some guys they're just wired. Like we're talking about guys that are wired differently, and so here's one guy. Okay, there's a spot around the coast here called Paranoia. So the name says it all. It's not somewhere you want to start learning how to surf. You got rocks and you got reef and you got. So I had a particular friend that only liked surfing there because he didn't like crowds. So he takes his other mate and he basically teaches him how to surf there. So, but this guy is like, peaceful guy, older as well, like, I think he's in his 50s. He learns to surf. And someone says to him one day, "Hey, bro, like, aren't you scared of surfing here?" And so he replies, he's like, "Oh, no one told me I must be scared." So it's like, ignorance is bliss, maybe, for some guys. But so it depends how you're wired. That guy's obviously wired like, "Hey, my mate's doing it. Oh, let's do it."
Yeah.
So
is that the one that's past on the way to Royale?
Yeah, so just past Cool Bay.
Yeah.
I mean, so in surfing, there you get secret spots, so you don't want to mention.
Is that one of them?
Nah, it's not a secret spot.
Okay.
If you want to surf there, go for it. Good luck.
How tricky a wave is Cool Bay?
It's tricky.
What makes it tricky?
So let's.
And is there a difference with caves and the main beach?
Yeah, there's a difference. Comparing caves to Strand. So Strand, we talk about the sea floor. So same as Muizenberg, well, different even. Muizenberg's a very good beginner wave, not very exciting, but perfect for beginners because
there's a fuckload of people in that beach.
Yeah, because it's so easy. It's if you design a beginner wave, that's it. And then Strand's a little bit up from that, which has got more peaks and a bit more excitement and a straighty.
And the currents are not that bad.
There's hardly any currents there. There's no rips. Strand's very similar to that, but a bit more exciting. So beyond like total beginner level. So the ocean floor is flat from far out. So there's no funkiness happening, and that swell just slowly coming in. Compared to Cool Bay, it's super deep and then super shallow. So the wave trips, if you can think of it like that. It trips up in a dramatic fashion very quickly, and then its top grows and folds, where a gentle wave kind of just gently crumbles and rolls in. So you get barreling waves, which is the most ultimate thing in surfing, is getting barreled, almost in the world. If you get barreled, the whole ocean's coming over you, you're inside, it's flipping scary, it's loud, it's fast, you think you might get nailed, and then coming out is that, wow, I made it. I didn't die. Yeah. And then immediately I want to do it again.
Yeah.
So that's what Cool Bay can provide. But the sand moves around and the tides affect the wave differently, so it's not always perfect, but it's got more crunch. So when the waves are small, there will always be a wave there. If the waves are big at Strand, it's going to be way bigger there. Bodyboarders like that spot because it's a quick takeoff. It's got more power. You don't want to bodyboard a weak wave because it's not so exciting.
Yeah.
So that's more of a bodyboarding spot. If you're going to surf there, you're going to need a bit of experience. And one of the biggest things in surfing is your jump up. So coming from lying down to standing up. So bodyboarders don't need to stand up, so they can just glide into the wave.
Yeah.
But jumping up, that's, in coaching, that's the thing I focus on a lot, is getting to your feet.
What makes Cool Bay difficult is that you don't have a nice 45 degree. No. It's a bit of a drop, and then you have to catch yourself. So
it's from nothing to straight up, straight away, flat to boom. So
and it's very quick motion.
Yeah. The jump up is, it's got to be quick. If you have a slow jump up on a gentle wave, you can survive. You'll eventually get to your feet and go.
Yeah.
On a peaky, hollow wave, you're going to probably nosedive and, it's not so fun.
And 0 to 10, how popular or how much do you like Cool Bay, the caves?
Yeah, it's fun. I dig it. Yeah. It's a bit of a mission, so you're not too far, but you need a couple of hours in the day. So I don't often get to do that, running the surf school and family and kids and stuff. So, but yeah, in the right conditions, it can be amazing. And that's also the thing in surfing. You need to have the right conditions. It's always changing. The better you get, you want specific conditions. When you're starting out, you just flip and go surfing anything, Yeah. People are like, oh, when's the right tide? And the moon must be lining up with the cross on the mountain. And, like, just go surf, man. Especially when you're starting. You just need time in the water.
Yeah.
But as you progress, you want more specific conditions, or you're looking for a barreling wave or a specific wave in the right tide or swell direction and all that. So then there might be a small window, maybe in mountain biking or whatever, it's not, the mountain's always flipping there. Yeah. Maybe it's raining or windy, but with surfing, it's like, flip, I've got it's going to be on Saturday at 9 o'clock at that specific spot. If I miss it by 2 hours, I'm going to be surfing foamies.
Exactly.
So it's not always good for relationships.
Good application to check out the weather.
There's so many. I use Wind Guru.
Okay.
But there's Surf Forecast, there's Wind Finder, there's a bunch, and they're all, there's loads of them.
But Wind Guru is a solid one.
I like it, it's all compact. But then you still got to read between the lines and
interpret the data.
Interpret it, totally. So I had this dude, okay, how's this story? I had this guy, we get a lot of Germans, well, I'm not harming on Germans, but this guy happened to be German.
Okay.
So we were walking down the beach about to do a lesson, and he says, "Why is there wind?" So I was like, yeah, it's windy, man. It's a little bit of wind, it's not too much wind. He's like, but the app said there would be no wind. So, are you joking? Like, looking at him to see if he's joking, he was like, dead serious, Like, why can't they get it right? I was like, dude, it's nature, man. It's just an interpretation. It's like you can't go sue Wind Guru because there's a bit of wind,
Yeah.
And he was bummed, He didn't get it. So maybe he was just very But so that's the most extreme form I've ever seen. Like sometimes I say to guys, like, okay, just hold on. I'm going to go into the surf school. I'm going to get my switch, and I'll just turn the wind off. I think that's what people think I have sometimes.
Yeah. Plus, I don't know if people are also lazy in that department. They send you like, is Friday good weather conditions rather than them checking out and interpreting the data. Is that also happening?
Yeah, I just ignore those people.
Is it? I don't know. You got to check out on Friday.
No, that's also part of the service we give. You got to give a bit of.
You got to help. No, I understand. Like I have a friend, like my friend's a chiropractor, and he's like, the problem with his approach to chiropractic is that he fixes people's backs and they don't have to come back to him. And it's like if you're really good at what you do, people don't need to come back to you. And but
it's true.
But people don't, and what he says, people don't want to be fixed, or they don't want to put in the work that's necessitated to be fixed.
Totally.
Because there's just and I think it's also like, listen, I went to go do extreme sports because it gave me a massive thrill and my life was boring. Maybe some people have exciting lives and it's just a way to blow steam off quickly. So everyone's got a different motivation for doing something.
Yeah. So
and maybe if I surfed and I was like, I got the weather conditions wrong a few times, maybe I'll be like, okay, I'm just going to check with Mick what's happening.
No, man, you can phone us anytime. Phone us. I do the surf report on the radio, Radio Helderberg.
Okay.
Twice a week, and I still get it wrong sometimes. I'm like, there's no wind, and then I look, there's a bit of wind. But
what's going on with the wind right now? Do you know why this is this bad?
7 days of southeaster. It's going to stop tomorrow, hopefully, but it's been hectic. I think it's just because the rest of the country needs rain, so.
And that brings rain to the rest of the country.
A lot of it, not the Karoo, unfortunately. The Karoo needs most rain, but so if we get a lot of, even if you just drive up to Grabo, it's flipping raining.
Okay.
Yeah, so
there is a positive.
It is a positive, It's all about perspective. We're going to go deep now, bro. How are you feeling right now?
Dude, that's so funny, man. We were at the beach yesterday because we knew it was going to be windy, but we were like, maybe we'll just go jump in quickly. But it was so interesting to see how the sand's gone. Like you just have this bottom layer right now.
All the stones.
Just the stones everywhere. I'm like, and then it's like, with all the alien plants that we've got, I finally understand why they brought them in. Because I'm like, like
stabilize or what?
Yeah, well, if it wasn't there, like, where would the coast be? Where would all the sand be? Like, it'd just be everywhere.
Yeah. No, it's hectic. You can see how the beach moves around in the sand, in the wind. But it's also it creates different. Say take Cool Bay for instance. In winter, there's no sand on that beach. It's just rocks. Yeah. But people don't go there in winter because it's not a good time. But we still surf there, and you have to walk over rocks and jump in. And so the wave is a little bit different. And in summer, that sand all comes back from the wind, and it fills it up again. So it's just nature. I think it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
We don't always understand it, but it blows around and then blows back, and then it moves around, and you get all this longshore drift with beaches where the sand moves. So stuff does happen. It's not all just global warming and whatever.
Do you believe in global
warming? That's another
warming?
Conspiracy.
Do you think it's real?
I don't know, dude. Anything's possible. You know,
I can't imagine
possible.
I can't imagine what we're doing as humans is contributing positively towards the environment.
That's a good stance to take.
You know, so that's where I begin.
Yeah.
And then I can imagine what we're doing is it's definitely not sustaining.
No.
And then you have to look at, well, then we're breaking down the environment. And I think that's pretty clear. And with warming, listen, I didn't switch on my light here because it would make the warm room, the room warm. But I can imagine if you have all these factories and shit all around the world, it must have some sort of contribution.
No, it can't be good, man. So,
is there a difference in the wave now, in Strand, for example, compared to 15 years ago? Has the seabed changed?
There's a conspiracy right there.
Is it?
Look, so I've been surfing for 27 years.
Okay.
Sorry. And the guys that are older, they always come up with, back in the day, this wave used to be 4 foot and used to run from there to there. And that's their theory. And and it might be totally true. Yeah. So the theory in Strand is all the high-rise buildings weren't there back in the day. There was more dunes. There was more sand. There was more stability or less stability. Sand definitely affects the wave. So if you've got more sand, it can create a bank. So there's a certain spot that we always joke about in Strand, and it's a small wave, but a nice, powerful wave. But it's good to surf when you're younger. And so we always say, when you're younger, everything's bigger. If you hit a jump when you're young, the first time you hit that jump, it flipping looks huge. Yeah. Now you go hit that jump, you're like, what the hell? That thing's tiny. So it's the same with waves.
Okay.
You surf in the beginning and you think, yes, Mom, I surfed like the wave was huge. And then if you ever get footage of it, which is, by the way, a very humbling thing.
Very humbling.
For surfing, I think with any sport.
Dude, with mountain biking, it's embarrassing. It's not even humbling. It's embarrassing. It's like, dude, Red Bull's going to sponsor me. And then you watch it. I'm like, I can't even show that to my wife. Like, I can't show it to anyone.
Yeah, totally. So there comes a time in surfing when in order to progress, you need to see yourself on footage.
Yeah.
And so there's always a disclaimer I give to my students, like, it's not going to be pretty. You're going to think I missed all your good waves. It's not going to look as big.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, yeah. And then they see their footage and they're like, their face drops. And they're like, oh, you must have missed my good waves, man. Like, that wasn't me. Like, you must have. So that move that looks like Kelly Slater or whatever is not so amazing.
No.
And so that's the thing. What it looks like and what it feels like is two different things. And that's why it's good to get footage of you doing anything. Golfers use it, any sport, to bring what it looks like and what it feels like together. Yeah. So when you do the thing, in your mind tells you, that's what it actually looks like. And then you can improve way more than anything else. Than someone telling you. Because I can tell you 100 times, oh, bro, you're using your knee to stand up. You're using your knee to stand up. Like, yeah, whatever. On footage, you can't fight footage. Yeah, but some people still do it, man.
No way.
Yes.
Dude, people are weird, man. my biggest challenge in life is dealing with people because they're just so interesting. I think, is it true Strand's very underrated? Strand's got a bit of a bad rep, but it's a very nice wave to surf. Like when I grew up in Stellenbosch, and it was almost like if you don't go to Cool Bay and you go to Strand, you're a bit of a pussy. It's like, oh, boy, you like small waves.
Yeah.
I think Strand's very underrated.
That's the stigma, yeah. So, and that's fine. I don't mind. Keeps
Less
people away.
Yeah.
But we've got plenty surfers. But it's a weird thing. There's waves. But you need to read it well. You need to, be able to get in the right spot to get good waves.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are just not willing to do that or ride a different board. So if you're riding a performance board at weak Strand and you're expecting to get a barrel like Jeffreys Bay, it's probably not going to happen. So your expectations are going to be, shot. Yeah. So my deal is go with no expectation. And you're always going to exceed it.
Yeah.
And ride a board that's going to help the particular
way.
That's
like Dalai Lama saying, do this and you're going to find happiness. It's like
Yeah.
It's like people are just not designed that way. Is J-Bay as amazing as they make it out to be?
Yeah, totally. So it's a wave that everybody around the world will use as a benchmark to every other point break or long breaking wave. So you'll see guys go, oh, that looks like J-Bay, or that barrel, or that was as long as J-Bay.
And is it internationally renowned?
Oh yeah, of course.
And is it really like Endless Summer, fucking Endless Barrel? It's not like that anymore.
So Endless Summer, if you watch Endless Summer, that wave that they surfed in Endless Summer 1 isn't J-Bay. That was in Cape St. Francis, Bruce's Beauties,
Okay.
which is a long wave. In Endless Summer 2, they did surf J-Bay, and it was super long. Yeah, it is like...
And you can still catch it today? Like that?
J-Bay's, yeah. It's
The wave hasn't changed that much?
no, it's all got to do with sand as well. But there's rocks, and it's... Yeah, I would say it's the same. It just
And
depends.
have you been down there a couple of times?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, you have to surf J-Bay.
The water's nice, area's nice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. A lot of
How's the
wildlife.
surfers there? Are they a bit cocky shits or they're alright? Or do you
So-
find them everywhere, all around the world?
Hey, you said where there's people. I say where there's people, there's problems.
Okay. Yeah, well, I agree. I agree, man. We're just not. It's because that's the one question I wanted to ask you. Is it? Do you just have dickheads? And dickheads might be ladies as well. Because and I'm glad that
Never.
I'm glad that there are more women getting involved in sport. And
Yeah.
Anya and I normally talk about this, but I'm sure. You would think that surfers are chilled out people, and it's like sometimes it's the least chilled out people. Plus, there's this. You can maybe also explain to me why is there's this. In the old days, it's like bodyboarder versus surfer. It's like, what's that about? So that's my two questions to you.
Yeah. So, yeah, where there's people, there's problems, man. If you go to any group of people, there's going to be a rift, and there's going to be a thing, or there's going to be like, I was here first, or I want. It's pride. Men are full of pride. Here we're getting deep again. If she's getting
Yeah.
too deep, it's.
Yeah, let's go for it. But I need to understand.
But yeah, we're full of pride. We want what we want and stuff the other guy, and so it's not natural to treat others like you want to be treated. It's like mine. I want this. Just think of a flipping car park, man. There's one car park. There's 3 cars. Those are gonna fight over it. It's like, and it's an auntie and a labourer and a plumber. Like, come on. Like, it's different people, but we all want the parking. Very seldom the guys going, oh, yeah, no, you take the parking.
Yeah.
Or like, you know what I mean? Or someone cutting in on my lane in driving. It's
Yeah.
like, it's hectic. So I think it's human nature to fight.
Yeah.
And then the problem comes when people are like, oh, surfers are hippie, just salt of the earth, like, take my wave.
Yeah, man.
Would be nice, but it's like you're dealing with humans. So you got a guy that's been at work all day. He's got an hour to surf. He's got to get back to his family, and he's flipping wants waves to relax, which is also like an oxymoron, Like,
Yeah.
I want my waves so I can relax, but I'm going to fight you to relax. Hey, just calm down, man.
Yeah, dude.
And often,
There's constantly waves coming.
yeah. But there's always that, there's that thing in surfers' minds, that wave that you want, that the one that's coming,
Yeah.
and there's always that, I want the perfect wave. But then even
Okay.
after you get that wave, there's a moment of exaltation and yes, and then you don't go in, you turn around and go back out because you want another one. So, it's a void that can't actually be filled.
Yeah.
We're going deep, but people are filling that void with stuff, whether it's sex, alcohol, relationships, jumping off buildings,
Yeah,
with
money.
parachute, money, power.
Yeah, material wealth.
So surfing is just another one of those things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not this utopia, for some people it is, because I think they're more centered as people and they're more grounded. But for guys that have been surfing a while, and there's a lot of grumpy guys out there. And if you're listening to this, you're grumpy. There's no two ways about it. Like, chill out, man. And we've got a cool saying at the surf school. We started a hashtag give a wave.
Okay.
So it means 2 things. Like, don't be a dumbass. I'm right next to you. How's it?
Okay.
So you'll surf with people, and we're sitting as close as we are, but they won't acknowledge each other.
Oh, yeah.
It's totally weird.
Yeah.
Because you're there to do the same thing. Even if it's just like hey, you don't have to flip and get into a deep conversation. Just acknowledge, like, wave, hello.
I clap a sauna 4 times a week. You like sit right next to this fucker.
And you're naked.
And it's like, it doesn't even want to give you a nod. Like, it's a bit like,
It's weird.
I'm like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, seriously, just say like, how's it?
Hey.
And then we can sit there weirdly together for half an hour, semi-naked. It's like, how many men are sitting semi-naked next to each other in the world right now? So we have a special relationship. You know, it's the same with how many surfers are there in the world, and how many of them are right next to each other right now, experiencing the same thing, and just like, hey, how you doing, man?
So one guy told me, I don't want to make friends with people because then I have to give them waves.
Yes.
How stuffed up is that, bro?
Dude.
I don't want more people. You're bringing more people here. And that means you're making people surf, and in 5 years' time, that little punk is going to take a wave off of me. You're like, bro, you've got issues, man.
Dude, we got to get you to a psychologist. Like, seriously.
Yeah, so that's some people's mindsets. And maybe that comes from like the 80s and 90s where it was more rough. It was like, hey, Lighty, you surf down the beach, you don't surf here. And that's how Strand was. So some guys grew up like that.
Okay.
If you're going to surf here, you surf down there. You get out of my way, Lighty. And
so it's like
so
this bully culture.
Yeah, that guy grows up and he's going to do the same thing.
I got to get mine now.
And now the next guy grows up and now all these surf school. And now I'm there and bringing all these people and trying to be happy and like share waves. And they're like, what the hell is going on here? When I grew up, maybe it's like, grade 8s or standard 6s back in the day. They got flipping mood,
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden you can't initiate guys anymore. And they're like, oh, what's up with that?
I got to get mine.
Yeah.
So are you a fairly unpopular figure within certain crowds in Strand?
I don't know. I hope not. But no one tells me to my face, maybe behind my back. You get that rubbish, but I mean, if someone's got an issue, then let's come.
Just come have a chat to me.
Yeah, come chat. But I try to keep the peace as much as I can.
Yeah.
With my surf school, I've always tried to use different areas of the beach. And I teach my kids or my students the rules. There are totally rules out there. Surf etiquette. And so we try to summarize that in #GiveAWave. Like, respect others. If you've just come into the lineup, you don't take the first wave.
Yeah.
I come sit down. You're going to try and create a queue.
Okay.
Which is very hard in the ocean because we're all moving around and then there's a wave here and then there's a wave there. But you've got to try create a queue and share waves. So #GiveAWave. Say hello to people, respond, create an environment that's friendly, and then also don't take all the waves. Like, I've had 5 waves. Hey, Roo, go on this wave. Or you're in a better position than me. Go.
Yeah.
Or I could take the wave. I won't make it, but you also won't make it. But you're not allowed the wave.
Yeah.
So, hey, go, Roo. And so sometimes someone will be paddling for a wave and say, no, you also want it, but you're in a better position. But you see me paddling, so you stop. But then I also stop. But I don't say, go.
Yeah.
So the wave's sacrificed to no one. And it doesn't take any effort just to say, hey, Maverick, go, bro.
Dude, I'm just getting a bit like frustrated listening to it. I'm like, but it's such a primitive way of thinking.
Yeah.
I'm sure, and something that I've noticed is even giving out compliments. Dude, that was such a nice wave, or like,
so easy.
And people are so scared of doing that. It's like, or not scared, they rather fall within a jealous point of you had such a sick wave that looked amazing, and they rather sit with the jealousy than literally like, dude, what a sick wave.
Yeah. So surfing is a narcissistic sport.
Okay.
Because we're always looking for waves for us.
It's not a team sport.
No.
It's not a...
It's about me. I want my wave. I want to go surf. I need my surf. So it is narcissistic if you want to summarize it. But then there's other people involved and you're sharing the same space.
Yeah.
So what does it take to go, if a guy does a cool move or a guy, you can see he's stoked, he might not be as good as you, and you just go, yeah, nice one. It takes nothing, man. And then you create a friend.
Yeah.
It's like the easiest thing in the world. Like with young kids, I mean, I'm a surf coach, so they look up to me and I just go, hey, nice wave. Their eyes light up, bro. Boom, what? Yeah. Someone acknowledged that I did something cool. It's the easiest thing in the world. So I've had, lots of surfers have had it. Maybe you all want to progress, so you do like a crazy cool move, like an aerial or whatever. You land it, boom. You always want someone to see it.
Yeah.
If you do a jump, I'm sure as well, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, did someone see that? No one saw it.
Yeah.
Did it even happen?
Yeah.
There's no proof.
Am I alive?
So as soon as you land a move, it's hard not to look around to say, even now, I've been surfing forever, but I still like,
did you see that?
Someone must enjoy the moment with me. I want to enjoy the moment with my students, like, sick, wow, that was awesome. and your surf is way more fun. And there's a guy right there, and he looks away. You're like, what the F, bro?
Oh.
Are you kidding with me? Like, just... So, and normally, I don't know, I can't say for those people why they would do such a thing, but your immediate reaction is to, oh, come on, bro.
Yeah,
like,
on, dude.
are you jealous, or you're just in your own world? But hey, everyone's got their own issues, man. And he comes from a background, and he has things happening, so you can't judge why he's doing that or not. But it's sad. You want to enjoy the moment with people, and the surfs you have with friends. There's some people you want to surf with, and there's other people you're like, I don't want to surf with this guy. I'm gonna just go in because he creates a vibe that's not lekker, you know.
Yeah, there's a guy that we could probably talk off air. So we have a mutual friend, and we've got another friend, and he's the world's nicest guy. Like, he's like the nicest guy, but I hear he's a bit of a.
Not nice in the water.
He's not the nicest guy in the water, and I'm like, it's quite weird. Like, you wouldn't have thought that. And he's also like fearless. Like, he just drops in on anything and everything, and he's like,
sure.
It's so weird how you can be different in different areas. It's probably normal, but that's one of the reasons why I got out of cycling. It's there's a variety of reasons, but one of the reasons was the same culture that is in surfing. Because I pitch up, I'm like, hey guys, how you doing? We're all here 6 o'clock in the morning on top of a mountain.
I can see you
risking our lives, fucking going down, getting a stupid rush, like. And then people are like checking in what bicycle do you have, what shoes do you have. Some people don't even greet you, like, you know, like sometimes you like on a Jeep track and you cycle past each other, so you wait for the like.
How's it?
And it's like the guy goes past, I'm like, that's just weird. But anyway, and sometimes you do sick stuff and you seem like the people are gossiping about you, like they. And that's what I love about soccer or football.
Yeah.
You would see people that maybe play team sports. There's something different in their minds. Like, you understand that it's about us working together.
You need the other person,
And so it's easier to sometimes to get on with people that are playing team sports than the solo sports.
Totally.
And I sometimes think that people didn't have brothers that got slapped if you're behaving like a little shit. You know what I mean? Like, if you grew up with brothers and you being a little selfish dickhead, then there will be certain repercussions. And I think some people, they just never got put into their place.
Yeah, totally. So we're dealing with pride. We're dealing with, it could be a whole lot of other things, man. But it's just sad. So we've got that hashtag giveaway thing at surf school.
Okay.
The whole environment at surf school, we're trying to be a positive thing, you know. So it's called Sun Surf School, SON. So we're part of Christian Surfers.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect time to segue into this. I don't know how it's oxymoronic to be a Christian surfer. You can maybe explain that to me, but
I think it's the stigma.
Okay.
Yeah. So coming from the 80s, 90s, you know, a surfer, or even the 70s, you know, to be a surfer was a rebellious thing.
Okay.
Society wanted you to get a job, you know, get married, have kids, you know, play a respectable sport that people understood. Surfing wasn't understood. It was done on the beach, down there, around the corner. What the hell are the guys doing? They not taking responsibility. So there was that rebellious thing about surfing, and that created a certain crowd. And then drugs got involved, sex got involved, you know, alcohol.
Free spirits.
Yeah, exactly. So it wasn't culturally accepted when it started, and I think that stigma just carried on through time. Obviously now it's different, but a lot of what I've tried to do is create a different culture, you know, and that's part of the surf school and part of what we promote at the surf school. Just at the very least, a positive vibe, you know. And so we're part of Christian Surfers, which is the international movement, which connects with surfers all around the world, and we're not a Christian surf school, but we are Christians that run a surf school, and at the very least, try to be a positive influence. And if people want to go deeper, they want to go deeper, man. But it's about, you know, treating other people how you want to be treated, you know. And that's like just summing up the gospel, pretty much. And it's not an easy thing to do, as we've spoken about it. Yeah, that's part of hashtag giveaway. That's part of the vibe we want to create. And so someone actually told me once, you're a Christian, but you're a surfer. Isn't that oxymoronic?
Yeah.
And maybe in their minds it is, because maybe the surfers they've met or understood are totally on the other spectrum of faith. And that's cool. I like those kind of questions. And for me, it's not. For me, it's part of how we grown up and part of the culture we're trying to create at the surf school.
Yeah. Plus, I think it's people like to pigeonhole people to try and understand them. So if I pigeonhole you in this, then, and I think it's like if you look at a metal band, it's like they must be fucking shooting heroin. And it's like if you look at a lot of famous old bands, like a lot of these guys are straight edge, sober, clean living individuals. And I used to be into a band called Korn.
Yeah.
And like half those guys are really big Christians right now.
Yeah. What's that one? The drummer? What is his name?
I don't know the name of the drummer because I've got a new guy, but Head and Fieldy and Monkey and Jonathan Davis. I don't know who all of them, but I was like, it's just you can't pigeonhole people. Yeah. And I think, but the vibe I get from you guys, it's like, I don't know, man. Like this religion topic for me is weird because I grew up religious, but I grew up with a certain type of church, which I did not associate with, and the people, and they spoiled it a little bit for me. And
that's for a lot of South African kids, man.
And what I like at the moment in this Stellenbosch, Cape Winelands, Helderberg areas, that there's a lot of small churches and there's options now. It's like in the old days you were listening to Rolling Stones or the Beatles, that's it. There was no in between. Now there's options.
Yeah, okay.
And what I like about it is you can go find your way that you want to go do it.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more intimate, it's a lot more personalized, and so if people want to do that, I think it's awesome. And what I get from your school is it's just positivity. Like, forget about the Christianity. We're just positive, good people, and that's the main thing. And if you want to talk about it, cool. But if you don't want to talk about it, cool. Like, and I love that, man, because that's very contradictory to what I grew up with. It's like, it's almost like we want to go plant the flag on the moon and let people know. Yeah. And it's like, you know, so I quite dig that vibe, man. I think you guys doing a very good job with that, and you feel the energy around the school, which is awesome, you know. And I think Anya would. So the way my wife got into surfing was, she's from Poland, and
not Germany. She's from Poland. Don't stuff it up.
They are neighbors, so they are next to each other. But she came here, and then it's like she always wanted to surf. So for one Christmas, I bought her 5 private lessons. Okay. And then she went for a couple, and then I think she went with you and another guy, but he's a bit like, whatever, just enjoy. And then Mick was a bit more like, okay, this one, a bit more militaristic. And Anya digs it. She feeds on it. And 5 sessions later, she's like, I'm a surfer.
Hooked.
You know, but it wasn't only that. I think it was the positivity, the energy around the school. It's like super amped. Like, you caught a wave, I'm happy. Yeah. And we have it in trail building a little bit. If you're like a true trail builder, it gives you sometimes more joy in building a jump, seeing other people do it than actually doing it yourself. And I'm sure you got it as a teacher. Yeah. There's this weird joy that you get when you help others.
Yeah. I think we all wired differently, so some people won't be able to be teachers. But there's something in me that even after 17 years of teaching surfing, hey man, if someone stands up on a small little piece of foam and they ride, hey, it makes me tick. So I know I am where I should be. Because there's a lot of surfers who are like, oh, you're still doing that? Isn't it like boring?
Yeah.
Because for them they wouldn't be able to do it. But so I've definitely got teacher in me. We do this cool assessment called what's it called now? Slipped my mind, but it's called Strength Finder. There we go. And it plots your strengths in 30 categories. Okay. And it gives you your top 5. So businesses use it. Everybody uses it. It's good to help you know how you tick. And also helps you in your relationships. We've done it as a couple. And so I've got, a couple of things in there that's like maximizer, which helps taking people from a place to another place. That's part of my makeup. So it's good for teaching.
Yeah.
And a lot you need patience, obviously, and that's part of it. But yeah, man, I dig seeing people get better at stuff, and to see the look on their faces, they stoked, and then you build this bond together.
Yeah.
So there is a bond that you build. I think teaching anyone in extreme sport, they've got to trust you. If they don't trust you, they're not going to carry on. So there's that trust element, and then you build a connection through that. And to see someone thrive, hey, it's sick, man. Because people want to get better, and people, everyone wants to surf. People come, they're 40, or I coached a guy that was 70 the other day. I've always wanted to surf. Like most people have always had that inkling, like we want to do that, but we don't know how to do it, or it's too scary, or I don't have the time. And when you get it right, you're like, oh, bro, that feeling is amazing. So I'm in a lesson, I'm with the person. Often I say, we're not leaving until you stand.
Yeah.
We're in this together. I'm with you in this. It's not like, flip and stand up already, otherwise I'm going.
Yeah.
So, we're doing it together, and that helps motivate me to help you surf better. But it's often a psychology lesson.
That's what I want to say. That's what it sounds like. You're just working on psychology all the time. When should I be pushing? Yeah. When should I let them say, okay, wait, let's just chill out today?
Yeah. And each person's different.
And you just got to read them.
And how do you know?
And even like halfway into the surf session, something might trigger or this or that. It's like...
So, you need to know people. It's a people business. It's surfing, but it's about people. And so the better you can know your customer, the better you can adapt and know how hard to push. But it's often, people don't think they can do it. And I can see this chick can do it, but she doesn't believe she can do it.
Yeah.
And I need to make her believe. And that's hard, but there's little tricks of putting someone on a board or helping them a little bit. Sometimes you pick someone up and you put them on the board and you push them. And they're like, what the heck? I'm like, you're standing. And they're like, I am. And then that clicks. And then that helps them to do it by themselves.
Okay.
You just need one little moment of, I did it.
Yeah.
And then
everything falls.
And that can help in life, eh? I mean, if you do something, sports can help in life. We've seen it with kids. It can help you be, overcome things or help you with work or whatever. If you've got whatever, is released, adrenaline or whatever.
Yeah.
Whilst you're surfing, can help you do stuff in life that you never thought you could do.
And on average, do people stand on the board, catch a foamy on the first, second, or third lesson?
First lesson.
Everyone stands on the first lesson in the
If it's for 1 second or for 20 seconds, depends on the person.
Yeah.
But the goal is to get them on their feet. First lesson.
So everyone basically catches it on the first lesson.
Well, they have stood. Whether they can do it by themselves is another thing. But with the coach's help or my help, they have stood.
Yeah.
If it's 1 second or...
Yeah, because we've been going just over an hour. So...
Sure. That was cool.
I think that's one of the things I want to get out there. It's like you will stand on your first lesson. Because I think Anya was a bit like... how long is it going to take? Yeah. Like, I've got 5 sessions. Is it going to happen at the end of session 5? And it's like it happens really quickly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And by the end of, 3 sessions, you are a surfer, basically.
Yeah. So, look, everyone's got a different definition of what a surfer is.
Yeah.
But if you've stood on a wave, you've surfed. So, and it's about, like we said before, it's about perspective. So it's like if you're expecting to get a barrel and ride away for 100 meters, it's not going to happen for a good couple of years. But if all you want to do is just stand on a wave and ride, and that's our expectation for people. I tell my students, I'm not expecting you to do a 360, a flip and back flip. Our first rule at the surf school is you just have some fun. It's up on a surfboard there. The best surfer is the one having the most fun.
Yeah, I saw that. I love it.
So it's a saying from an Hawaiian dude that started surfing and took surfing to Australia, the Duke. He's a famous, and that's his thing, The best surfer is the one having the most fun. And it's totally true, because there can be really good surfers out there and they're not having fun, man.
Well, look at this whole Kelly Slater argument. It's like,
Is he having fun?
How many championships has he won?
11 world titles.
And he doesn't look very content with his life.
Yeah. Why is he still competing? He's 47.
Yeah.
Why is he still competing? He can walk away and do something else.
But listen, I'm talking about it because I can put up my hand and say, like, I have elements of that. I just had a podcast 2 days ago with one of my students that I still got to release, but you know how it is. Like, you have students, and then at some point they start teaching you. They somehow turn the mirror. And we actually had a chat here, and he's like, dude, like, I think you can be more patient. I think with good. Life. And and we had a chat afterwards, and it is one of my big not shortcomings. I don't want to be that tough on myself, but it is one of the areas that is hindering me to enjoy the moment. Yeah. Because I'm one of those that no matter what, anything can be done better. Yeah. And it's a problem sometimes. It helps me to be more successful than some people, and I have more in my life because it's like, I do kickboxing. I started a year ago. Yeah. Then it's like I do my podcast. Then it's like I have my own business. Then I do this and I do this and I do this. And they're all pretty good because I'm always like, what can I do to be better? But then there is that moment of, are you just enjoying it when it's happening? And I think that's the same with what you're talking about in the wave. It's like, fuck, dude, you like charging down whatever. And then you finish, you're like, okay, next time I got to do that. Where everyone else is like,
totally.
Did you see how cool that was?
Totally. Which is messed up, eh?
I think it is. Well, we're all different. And I just think it's sad how you can pursue something and never enjoy it. Yeah. I think that's just quite sad. Yeah. You never realize how lucky you are, how blessed you are, how amazing your wife is to put up with all your shit. Like, I can be a spoiled brat and I'll be like... Like, how lucky am I? Not only that someone can sit up with my shit, but they actually enjoy it. Yeah. They find it attractive. You know what I mean? It's like, totally. And it's very easy to...
it's a good perspective to have.
But I don't have that naturally. And that's one of the reasons why I do my podcast. Is this isn't for money. At some point, dude, this will be a dream job. It's like being like, what do you want to do? I want to be a surfer. But like, if I could be a podcaster, but what the podcast is helping me at the moment, it's putting my thoughts in the right perspective every time I do a podcast. So like this week, I think I have 4. Sure. So for 8 hours this week, my mind will be in the right place where I think in a healthy way. That's good. It's almost like going to church. Like, I think you go to church, and it helps you just to gain the right perspective, how to approach the next few days until you're in church again. Totally. You're chilling with people that are nice, and it recharges your battery, and it's like, cool, like, I don't know. Yeah,
it realigns you. It's like a meal. How often you're going to skip a meal for like 4 months or like 10 years? You're going to die.
Exactly.
So that's how I see like gathering with other believers, and it just realigns you. We were talking about it with guys yesterday. It's like, it's a privilege to be able to talk and get deep with someone, and they're not like, oh, you're being a weirdo. And sharing each other's burdens, that's a big thing, eh? That's what the walk together is. You're sharing, even if there's no solutions, you're sharing each other's burdens. That's why isolation is just no good. You become a weirdo, and you have no perspective. So, and it can happen even in a marriage or in a relationship, but you're just not talking, Yeah. So sharing is good. And men, it's difficult for men, man. We always joke, men have 2 emotions, bummed and stoked. Like, share your emotions. I'm bummed. Yeah. I'm stoked. I'm very bummed. There's a third one, and I'm very stoked. We need to, it's hard because it's not promoted. You're a man, be tough. Real men don't cry, and that's bullcrap, man. It takes a real man to cry. You've got emotions, man.
Dude, I still find it difficult. You know what I mean? Like, and that's one of the reasons why I do the podcast is I don't drink, I don't drug. Now, and that's a very good area to meet people to talk about shit if you drink and drug. Because once people get intoxicated and they lose their inhibitions, they can actually talk about stuff. But if you're dead sober, it's hard. People are very hesitant to have real conversations. And if you consider that half the population are idiots and you don't maybe want to have a conversation with them, it becomes quite difficult. And that's the cool thing about the podcast. It creates an environment where you can just be real, man. Yeah. And there's no judgment, whatever. Yeah. And the reason why I record it, it's because maybe someone else listens to it. Yeah. And it's like, and that's the cool thing. Quick question. I wanted to ask you, this may be a bit silly. Yeah. Are you a Billabong or a Quicksilver guy?
That ship has sailed long ago.
Is that gone, dude?
Yeah, I mean, both those companies are almost in the douang and just being held alive. But there's so many other brands.
What's the new ones? RVCA, is that a surf brand?
Yeah, it's Ruka or RVCA. You got Hurley, which kind of took over a lot. They did really, but I just heard that they've in the douang as well. They're just offloading all their stuff. So surf industry is really tough, man. Like, it's no one wants to pay $300 for shirts and
Reef.
This is Reef South Africa, so they sponsor me wetsuits, and they're in Cape Town. They're awesome. Just like a really simple, cool brand and family owned, but reliable. And so the surf school they support us, and we use all their suits and stuff. So really trusted, really recommend them.
Value for money.
Totally, yeah, and long lasting, and they got after sale service and.
Because the surf stuff just got ridiculous, man. Like, I grew up as a kid. Quicksilver had cool boardies, and they had cool pants. Like, and then at some point, you know how with all good things, it becomes super popular and becomes corporate. And Billabong was the first one that jumped ship. And I don't know, man. It was just, and you know what's weird is finding shorts these days that cover your knees. Like, it's almost impossible. Like,
it's a short mentality now.
And it's a completely different culture than what it used to be. But I'm like, that's just part of life. But I used to be a Quicksilver guy, and then and now I'm like, whatever. As long as it's comfortable and I can afford it, I don't have the choice anymore.
And you know the funny thing, surfers don't pay for clothes, bro. We if we go somewhere we want a discount, otherwise we won't buy it. We'll wear the same shorts for like 20 years, man. So the surf industry runs off non-surfers. Like the joke was, like, the best selling Billabong store when they had all their stores was like in Joburg. So it's selling boardies. If
you go to Joburg, you want to go to the factory shop and buy all the reject clothes.
Surfers don't pay for nothing,
and
man.
That's the crazy thing.
Even if they got money.
Dude, cycling. If you go to cycling, it blows my mind. I'll sit and I'll be like, 100,000 rand bicycle, 150,000 rand bicycle, 108. That helmet is 7,000 rand. That neck brace is fucking 10,000 rand. Those shoes are 4,000 rand. Some of those fucking socks is 1,000 rand. And you see these people drive around, and it's like there's someone eating out of a trash can. And it's like, just fucking blows my mind.
It's gnarly.
So the cycling industry is again completely the opposite. Like, people have money. And surfers, local surfers that you want to give a shout out that you think is really good?
Oh, jeez. I mean, we've got loads of young surfers. They're good. We've got a really good guy that came from Strand. We coached him a little bit when he was younger. And Aiden Masonkamp, he's really good. Okay. And he's on the world tour, so he's done really well. Really focused kid. Really, really good surfer. And so, all good luck to him.
Is he sponsored at the moment?
He's sponsored. You've got to be sponsored to go around the world. It costs a lot of money, and but sponsors are min. There's not a lot of money in the surf industry. It's not like rugby or golf. I mean, golf is probably the biggest one. There's just so much money, you know. But it's all corporate money, I think. And surfing's not on TV. People don't understand surfing. They want to sit for hours watching it, and it happens at funny hours of the day. I mean, we all watch it online. It's all streamed, but it's like 2 a.m. in Tahiti, and we're like watching, and but there's not millions. It's not and mainstream. So
there's some sometimes it's like you tune in, it's like there's no waves today.
Or there'll be a 40-minute heat and there'll be 4 waves surfed. So that's like 30 minutes of watching guys sit in the ocean.
There's some sports you just can't monetize it. I think the classic example is the curling in the Winter Olympics. Like, there's only so ways you can dress that up and try to monetize it. It's like ping pong. Ping pong, if you watch a good game, it's one of the craziest things you've seen in your life. But for some reason, nobody's going to buy pay-per-view. Ping Pong World Championship.
Yeah.
And then you watch Conor McGregor fight for 40 seconds for like
And how
fucking
much money they make.
$60. You know, I'm a massive mixed martial arts fan.
Okay, cool.
So that's my thing. I don't do it. So when I say I do kickboxing, I do it against a bag.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't do the actual... And it's sad how surfing... It's like it's just difficult to monetize it.
It's hard.
But the highlights
so
is
they've
crazy.
They've tried, which in the last 2 years they've gone into wave pools.
Okay,
I don't know if you've seen that. So
is that also the thing that Kelly Slater?
yeah.
does?
So he funded. So it's his wave pool basically.
Okay.
But the World Surf League has bought it, and they've put contests in a wave pool.
No
so you
way.
can say at 4:00 on a Saturday, Kelly Slater is going to be surfing, and they can schedule it with HBO or whoever. And then they can make more money out of it.
That's cool.
But there's something about a wave pool that's just not the ocean, man. So it's what we always wanted because it's a perfect wave and you can press play and there it comes. But it's still artificial. And there's something about the ocean that is, you know, it's unique and there's that intrigue. What am I going to get? Am I going to get this kind of wave? Am I going to get that wave? Is it going to come in time? So a lot of people are not stoked on it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you told those people, hey, you want to have a free ride, they'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the ocean is the real thing, eh?
And who's a fan of international or local surfers that you think are really good? You dig their style, the way they go about their surfing?
There's...
I'm sure you can name thousands, but...
Yeah, there's loads, hey? But, yeah, obviously the biggest one at the moment is John Florence. He's been injured for a while, a guy from Hawaii, and he was from 6 years old. Everyone was watching him, the blonde-haired kid. But the cool thing about him is we talked about social media the other day.
Yeah.
Like, he hates social media, bro.
Okay,
He's got the biggest contract in surfing, and he never posts stuff, and he's not like, yeah, look at me.
Yeah.
And he's super humble. He's the best guy in the world, the coolest style, rides big waves, barrels, does the craziest airs, but he's just like chilled. He's not like, look at me. And then all of a sudden, that's kind of attractive too. So he won't post on Facebook, on Instagram for months, you know.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, he posted something. And he's just humble, eh? And I think that's cool. Best in the world, but still humble. And it must be hard because everyone wants a piece of you.
Dude,
it must be so hard. I always say a man was never meant to be worshipped because you see how stuffed up it gets.
Dude.
Like rock stars and Justin celebrities. Bieber. It goes mental because you can't handle all that. I want to know what you're doing. Touch me. Just look at me. You know, and that's worship. Like, and it messes people up, man. So, yeah.
And cool movies that people should check out if they're keen into surf movies.
So obviously the most famous one, Endless Summer. Everyone's got to watch that.
Which one? All of them.
Endless Summer 2, yeah. But Endless Summer 1 is also cool, but Endless Summer 2 is the famous one. And then a nice Hollywood movie is Chasing Mavericks. It's got Gerard Butler as the actor, which is kind of, it's a true story, but it also shows the surf culture.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed the vibe of that one.
Yeah. And so a lot of Hollywood movies stuff surfing up.
What's that Blue Crush with the girls?
That was actually
surfing?
pretty good for us.
Yeah?
So Blue Crush was in 2002.
Yeah.
And after that movie, it kind of spawned the surf school movement.
Okay.
Because what it did is millions of girls saw it and they were like, we want to surf.
Okay, that's cool.
Young girls, so it was actually good.
So
it might have helped me, Blue Crush, so I won't bag on it.
Okay.
Don't watch Blue Crush 2 because that sucks. That was the low budget version filmed in South Africa. But you can still watch it. But so Chasing Mavericks, definitely good.
Cool.
Hollywood movie that's actually true, and it also might excite you to like, because the guy has to put in effort, put in time to surf the weekend and train, and he overcame it. A little bit sad.
Got to be a bit rebel and
and it's good for the girls to watch because there's this little bit of emotion, love story in there.
No, it's very cool.
Twist, but it's good.
What's the movie with Keanu Reeves where he was the
Point Break.
Yeah. I quite like the vibe, the romantic vibe of surfing in that movie. What's your opinion of that?
I've actually never watched Point Break 1.
No? What?
I've seen snippets, but that's a lot of people when they think of surfing and they're like, oh, have you watched Point Break?
Yeah.
So, but
as a kid growing up, because that movie was in the 90s.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
like I was born in 85, so I
Yeah.
was like,
I don't know how I missed it, but
and it's like it was just this like your whole life is surfing.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you have this other part, but there's a couple of other movies that I saw, but I wouldn't be able to remember the name. And then the documentaries that's cool to watch.
sure, there's so much stuff online at the moment, like YouTube. It's just the cool thing at the moment is these guys vlogging, so they'll do like
Okay.
one a week or one a day or two a week.
Mm.
So there's cool guys. There's Ben Gravy who surfs every day and documents it. He's
Okay.
trying to surf every state in America.
No way.
He surfs novelty waves, so a wave that's small but breaking, he'll ride it.
Okay,
Surfs
okay.
in rivers, surfs behind boats, surfs like ferry waves.
But like
surf-
that Amazon thing that
surfs
happens.
that, yeah, like, but a lot of stuff that you would not waste your time with. But he's amped and he's frothing, just gets people amped. So he's cool. Ben Gravy, check him out. There's a cool guy called Brett Barley. He surfs amazing. He does one a month. You got Jamie O'Brien who does. He's a bit cooked, but he surfs on softboards and he surfs pipeline. And so it's all this stuff is fun to watch.
Okay.
There's lots of content out there. There's a new guy, he's got a series called Weird Waves. So he surfs funny waves. And like behind an oil tanker, or oil tanker creates a swell that
okay,
goes
okay.
onto a bank and then they surf that.
Yeah.
He surfed in the Zambezi, there's a wave there.
Yeah.
There's lots of stuff. Yeah, just YouTube can keep you busy for hours. It's actually a bad thing.
Yeah, it's just weird, like how in the old days, skating VHS tapes, you had
Yeah.
to like pass it around
Totally.
and just getting content, watching it,
It was
and
impossible. You'd have to wait a whole year. Guys would film for a year and at the end of the year release their video.
yeah,
And then you'd be like, oh, sick. Now a guy does a backflip and at 2 o'clock he did it at 2:30, you've seen it. And you're like, cool, I'm going to try that.
And
So
it's like
progression is
yeah, and it's
it's
like
quick.
whatever. Like now you see a backflip, it's like whatever.
another one.
And is punk still big onto on the as the music and the on the videos?
Music on videos has changed quite a bit. You got like techno. I'm terrible at music, bro, so I won't be able to
Okay.
tell you. The only music I know is on surf videos.
yeah,
So if a song is like, oh yeah, that's
from that
that's Geordie Smith's section in Campaign. Or,
yeah. Is he good?
Yeah, he was top 5 again this year. I think
Okay.
he came second. But that elusive world title is...
Mm.
No, he didn't come second. I think he came third. But it's hard, eh? The top 10 is like all crazy good guys.
Those
So you got to
guys
be
are just
consistent
top,
over
top.
12 contests
Mm.
with waves that don't want to break and subjective judging and...
Is that happening in the sport?
Oh, yeah. It'll happen from grassroots to the top. But you've got 5 judges, so they all give their score, and it gets average. So that's why you've got 5.
Mm.
But you can look at a maneuver, and I can look at a maneuver, and you're like, yeah, I think it's 8, and I'll be like, yeah, it's a 6.5. And there's no lines, and there's no finish line, and there's no ruler, so you can't say it is an 8. It is.
Yeah.
So it's subjective. Depends on what you're feeling.
That's what I find also difficult with this mixed martial arts that I watch, because some fights is not a finish with a submission or a knockout.
Okay, yeah.
And then it goes to the judges. And the crazy thing about mixed martial arts, it's a big discussion for many years.
Yeah.
The judges has never competed or participated in
that's
mixed
rubbish.
martial arts.
That's dumb.
And it's the same in boxing.
No.
A lot of the judges have never done it. It's all a money making.
Really?
It's very interesting if you go listen to it.
come on,
And it's
man.
like a lot of times the fight finishes and you're like, cool. And you have that moment where they raise their hand. And it's literally like when you see people surprised.
What?
It's because it's literally like, how the did we watch the same fight here?
It
Like,
was like that Conor McGregor boxing match with...
Floyd Mayweather.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was just a subjective. But then it was all people's opinion.
Yeah.
I actually did jiu-jitsu for a year.
Okay. And
Yeah, it was cool, man.
which place did you do it at?
At Ocean in Strand. It was
Okay.
with Bernie Bradell.
Okay.
He was actually one of my students when he was at school. And then-
Okay. Quid pro quo.
Yeah, it was cool. I've got an older son who's 20 now, and I took him with, and we did it. I would never have thought of doing it before, but
Yeah.
it was cool. Like really good fitness.
Mm.
It complemented my surfing. You need to be flexible and everything.
core muscles.
I mean, at the beginning, it's weird. Like you're sitting on another dude, and you're like all in each other's
sweating
face.
and
But it's really technical. So someone says like chess, similar to chess, like. And it also took time in the beginning. You know, there was a dude who was 90 kilograms on me, and they were like, okay, get him off. Help? What do you mean, get him off? Like, show me something. They're like, well, this is how you learn. Try. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to use my muscles and push him off. And it was just like, something clicked in my back. And I was like, okay, it's not all about power. It's about technique and moving. And then you learn.
Manipulating.
Yeah. And going here and, you know, forcing them to go there. And then, so it's quite interesting.
I would love to do it, man. My doctor said because of my spine, I shouldn't do it for the moment. I would love to. If I had time and if I had the money to join a gym, like I would love to. Like I've only heard positive things, except that I have heard of a lot of injuries happening.
It can happen, man.
And you have to be with people that you trust, because there's some people that
gonna push it further.
They just get too competitive and they lose their minds a little bit, and that's the difference between something moving. And because I don't know, so I'm a bit scared.
No, it's true. You definitely get a bit of, depends who you're with, but it's good to have the instructor there, and they say everything gets sorted out on the mat. So, you know, if you're being a bit too aggressive, the instructor, he's going to be like, yeah, bro, calm down.
Yeah.
Or he'll come in there and put him in a hold and humble him a bit.
Yeah, I like the setup. Like you have someone, and it's like,
what they told us is like, if you hurt your partner, then he's not there to train with you the next day. So like, be respectful.
Yeah. And that's again like coming back to the surfing. Like, if you don't do it right, there's repercussions in a lot of sports. Where with surfing, if you don't do it right, then you get rewarded because you get more waves.
Sure, that's a good way to look at it. Or a bad way to look at it.
Yeah, but
it's true. That's true.
It's like cutting corners.
Yeah.
Why do taxis go over red lights? Because there's no repercussion. Yeah. They are rewarded making more money.
Yeah.
It's and I think that's the problem with surfing. There are rewards for your negative behavior.
Yeah. And that's why you need guys in a lineup that are going to voice their opinion, but in a way that's not going to cause a fight.
Yeah.
Or you're going to verbally abuse somebody. And that's also a part of #giveaway, you know. Explain to someone. Because they don't know. You know how many friends I've made out of them getting in my way?
Yeah.
And then, so people are like, oh, Mick's such a nice guy, he's not going to tune anybody. But it's like, no, you're not tuning them, I'm explaining to them. So you go up to the guy in a nice way, like, hey, dude, do you know you're in my way there? And their immediate reaction is like, I'm like, no, it's cool. I'm not going to hit you. I'm just trying to explain to you. So next time, there might be not such a nice guy that is going to hit you. So I'm going to help you in the situation. We're all here together, so just learn the rules a bit. But there's grumpy O's out there that'll just go straight in, man. Just start flicking straight away. Or want to be aggressive or get physical.
They want to get into a fight.
What's the light you're going to learn? First of all, he's not going to like you. He's going to get bigger one day and remember what you did, and he's not going to be happy about it. But you can create a friend. But again, then you're going to have to go out of your comfort zone. You have to put in effort.
Got to be mature.
Got to be humble. And it's like, there's no other way to do it. You can't just flick it over, man.
I think people are just lazy, man. Like, it's hard work being mature, responsible, being an adult. It's like, I've got across the road here, there is outside sensors for the alarm system.
Yeah.
And they've got a couple of palm trees that are overgrown, and it waves and it triggers the alarm, and the alarm is on the roof.
Yeah.
And sometimes it goes off like 3 or 4 times a day. So my thing is, obviously this is a selfish prick that doesn't care, because he knows about it, because it happens like fucking 90 minutes a month. So my response is, I'm going to throw eggs at his house. I'm like, I think that will be a good way to go about it. That's my first thought. My second thought is, that's just not the way to do it. So I've waited now a month where I'm like, okay, is this really unbearable? Yes. And then it's like, I phoned the guy the other day, and I know him. I was like, dude,
this is the situation.
I don't know if you know, but your alarm goes off, and but he rents out the house, so he doesn't live there. He rents it out. So I'm like, the alarm goes off all the time, blah 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 blah. And he's like, no, I'm gonna come switch it off. So I went to go grab him quickly, and I had a chat with him. And it's like, rather than being like, dude, what the fuck, blah 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 blah, I was like,
sort it out.
You know, like if the alarm goes off all the time, I can't help you when someone's breaking in.
Yeah.
Because it's like the boy that cried wolf too many times.
can
But if
ignore
the
it, yeah.
alarm never goes off and it goes off, I can go over with my panga. I can go check out what's happening. I have a couple of pangas in strategic positions here.
Okay.
And I'm like, basically, I can help you
Yeah.
if we do this correctly. But if this happens, I can't. And then I'm like, he's like, I actually got to cut the tree, but it's quite expensive. I was like, dude, I'm experienced.
I've got a panga.
I'm experienced at cutting trees. I can do it for free. So just let me know. He's like, cool. And now a couple of days later, the alarm went off this morning, and I was about to get all shitty. And then half an hour later, I saw him pulling in with guys with gear.
Nice.
So, and it's like, it's hard work to be mature, but I think real
so funny,
solutions comes at if you just do it right, you know. And I think people are lazy, and that's why in the water it's too easy to be like, dude, fucking.
Totally. It's way easier just to fluke a guy.
I'm gonna check. I think we might finish.
Cool.
There is. Just wanted to check, is it difficult to be a surfer and be a dad and a husband and then now you're a teacher, so I assume you don't get that many waves yourself anymore?
Yeah, so it's
Is
like
that hard?
It's like that meme or whatever you check, like what my mom thinks I do, what people think, what society thinks I do, you know, what my mentors think I do, and then what reality. So people think I just surf all day. But I don't. I watch surfing all day, or I'm teaching all day. Even when I walk out of the beach without a board and a coach's vest on, people say, "How was your surf?" Like, what? What do you think I do, bro? So it's people that surf and are on the beach all day, and they still think I surf all day. Yeah. So, like, if I was surfing, I would have taken all your waves, bro. Not really, but you see a lot of waves, so you watch a lot of surfing, and then. But still, my office is at the beach, so if I do have a half an hour or 45 minutes, it's easy just to go in the water and come out the water. Where if you're working somewhere else, it's going to take you 2 hours to get to the beach. So it's a privilege. My job, I love my job. It really is a privilege, and I love what I'm doing. So there's many wealthy guys that come bring their kids, and they're like, "Oh, I wish I had your job." I'm like, "Yeah, but you won't have my paycheck."
Yeah.
But I do have job satisfaction, which is worth a lot of money. And in terms of being having kids, you don't have as much time, and so a lot of people don't understand. Oh, come surf with me. I'm like, no, I want to go to my kids now. Like, oh, you have to do that. Like, I don't have to. I want to. So your mindset changes, But my wife is very understanding, and there's a lot of times where Inge will say, "You need to go surf now. You need to go with your mates, and you need to do that time," because she understands it fills me up. And it's the same with her. Like, you need to go spend time with your girlfriends, or go paint or do whatever. And that's the balance. But definitely, when you're single, you're going to surf way more than you. Yeah. There's still guys that are married and they surf a lot, and I'm like, yes, I don't know how that works, bro. Yeah. But that's your thing to sort out. But you need to balance it, and you just need to communicate with your partner. And
Are you like what's that guy Blair Hamilton, the big wave?
Laird Hamilton.
What's his name?
Laird.
Yeah. So he gets like, I've watched some of his stuff. He gets like super depressed if there's no waves and if he doesn't get waves in and stuff. And
yeah, but that's.
Are you similar to that? Where like if you don't get any good wave, then it affects your mood?
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I've tried to work on that.
Okay.
Where it can't. It really can't, man. So that's a inner. Thing that you need to work on within yourself, because your emotions can't be dependent on something that's outside. To a certain extent, yes, but like it's something you can control.
Yeah, and if you want to get hooked on something, get hooked on something that's at least consistent.
Yeah, come on, like a tennis court.
You just buy a big machine that shoots the balls at you, and no matter what, it's gonna be.
But then it won't be fun. It won't be fun.
So how many hours of surfing for yourself do you get in per week?
Yeah, some weeks is nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, a wave or two.
Because if it's good conditions, then people are like, oh, we're gonna want to come surf.
Yeah. So it changes. So that's variable, and your emotions can't be variable. You have to be some form of a consistent type of person.
Yeah.
And when you're a teenager, that's how your emotions go. I didn't get this, so I'm gonna be pissed off and I'm gonna throw a tantrum. But like if you're 30, you can't still be throwing tantrums, man.
Yeah.
Like you got to get yourself in check.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen automatically.
Mm.
And that's we were talking about community before, you know. You need to have mentors, you need to have older guys, you need to have younger guys that you can bounce things off. And like you're saying, the mentors become the mentees. Like I need to be humble enough to learn from other people.
Mm.
I can't just be giving advice, I need to be receiving advice. So we're talking more about, you know, your inner being, but it's true, man. It comes out. When people are stupid in the water or stupid in traffic, like, yeah, they're being stupid, but there's a root. What's the root?
Mm.
And a lot of people are not willing to deal with the root of their issues because it's hard and it's messy and there's a lot of stuff there and there's just been plasters being put on top of plasters, but it's pussy underneath. And it's not nice to deal with it.
Hard work.
But
man.
you need to find people to deal with that stuff. Otherwise, you're going to be flipping 50, 60, 80, and you're still a dumbass. And you can't talk to anyone, and you're the grumpy old man next door.
Yeah.
But your life can be way more, man.
That's what I like. Like, I think a great example is Leonardo DiCaprio, for example. Like, every couple of years, he's got, like, some new hot model that's like 20 years old. And then I read an article about, you know, Kevin Bacon, the actor.
Yeah.
I think he's been married like 35 years.
Awesome.
And he also, like, when he was in Footloose, the first one.
Yeah.
And it's like the article said, like, he was like the heartthrob at that point. So he could have been the same as Leonardo DiCaprio, where it's like he can have any girl he wants. But then, and I'm not saying one is happy, one is not, but I'm like, I think there's some, it's interesting for me to observe famous people that have access to anything they want and see how they exercise choices and decisions. And Ricky Gervais is one that I've been looking at recently.
Yeah.
He's also been married for over 30 years. And he says, like, one of his...
That's cool.
He's lucky. He's like, I'm not like Justin Bieber. It's not like I became famous at an era where all I want to do is be around girls. Like, I became famous at 38.
Sure.
I was already married.
Yeah.
And no one cares really about what a 45-year-old or 50-year-old does. Like, I don't have that craziness. But I find it super interesting, man. So, and it's like, again, like coming back to how we started with this Kelly Slater. What if you get everything?
Yeah.
And then you're still not happy. What then? You know, it's, I don't know. That scares me. So that's why I work really hard. And I think that's what you also do in your school. Yeah. And that's the vibe that I get. It's like there's a little bit more to everything.
Yeah. You got to be, man. It's true. If you look deep down inside, you know, you're made of blood and muscle, but you've got a soul, man. And we don't want to work on those things. We want to work on our social media stuff. But I mean, come on, you got to work on the inside. Yeah. Otherwise, the outside's going to be stuffed up.
No, exactly, man. Listen, in the description box, anyone listening or anyone watching, I'll be letting some logos pop up, hopefully, with my editing. But people can contact Mick. Are we going to put your telephone number?
Yeah, Surf School. Just WhatsApp us. Don't email me at 12 at night. I'm not going to answer. People are like, I emailed you 5 minutes ago. Why haven't you replied? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
WhatsApp's easy. Surf School number. You can Google us. We got a website, but Sun Surf School Strand. Yep.
And there is Instagram and Facebook for those that want to participate in that way.
Instagram. My wife runs the Instagram. And Facebook. I don't know if anyone still goes on Facebook, but
some people do. And if sponsors wants to get involved, if there's any organizations or communities that want to get involved, are they welcome to contact you?
Yeah, I mean, we're always looking to help out people and partner with people. So, give us a call. Come chat. We're always down at the surf school. Come chat with us and check what we're all about. We're next to the Water World, the Super Tube, next to the Putt Putt, down on Strand Beach. Yeah.
Dude, wicked. I'm so happy that we could finally make this happen.
Yeah, thanks, man.
It's been over a month in the plans.
Yeah.
I feel like I can talk more, but I feel like we've covered such a variety of topics that some people might, it's too much at the end.
How do you put a heading on this one? I don't know,
dude. Magical Mick.
Oh, come on.
We put something like that. Magical Mick the Surfer.
Magic Mick. Isn't that a stripper? Magic Mike?
Magic Mike. We're going to make it Magic Mick. Cool, dude, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, man.
Shot, dude.
Sick, man. Sick.
Ski met die waters bestoor.
Elke spoor ongelooflijk.
That's a mountain.
Orangutans, but when father